This story is for everyone, and it's called Roger and His Car with Artificial Intelligence. Roger Morton was happy. Roger Morton was delighted. The salesman had just handed him the key to his brand new car, a top-of-the-range XK200. And what a car! It had everything: mist spray, auto parking, self-cleaning windscreen, automatic hood for sudden rain, plus many other exotic accessories. It had cost a fortune, and Roger had straight away made sure his insurance covered everything. The big plus of this car, said the salesman, is it possesses AI, artificial intelligence. Now Roger had heard of artificial intelligence and the wonders it could perform, but this would be the first time he had actually used it. How do I switch it on? He asked. The salesman laughed. AI switches itself on as it thinks necessary. That, thought Roger, is impressive. He sat outside the showroom for half an hour, pressing controls, reading the screen, entering menus, then sub-menus, and then sub-sub-menus. There were more controls on the steering wheel than there was steering wheel, and the nest of switches above his head, and a large chrome lever he identified as the drive stick by his right elbow that sprouted from another nest of switches and buttons. Yes, he decided, it would take a while to understand what the technology he was sitting in was used for. So, for the moment, he would just use the steering wheel, the accelerator, and the brake. He said he had been instructed by the salesman to say the word start. Start! The hum came from under his feet and not from the front of the car as he had been expecting. He had been told the GPS followed voice instructions, so he gave it some. Take me to 420 Primrose Gardens, Essex.
I will take you to 420 Primrose Gardens. On the instructions, drive me.
Very well, thought Roger. That's a good start. Drive me, he ordered. The click from his left elbow and a seatbelt emerged from the side panel of the car.
Attach your seatbelt.
The welter of technological complexity around him had caused him to forget the click of his safety belt. Drive me, he ordered again. The car did not move.
Breathalyzer, breathalyzer, breathalyzer.
A small tube popped out of the dashboard in front of him.
Blow into the tube for 4 seconds.
Roger blew.
You had 2 slices of marmalade on toast, 1 croissant, and 3 cups of coffee for breakfast. No drugs, no alcohol.
Yes, said Roger, and I have shaved, showered, combed my hair, brushed my teeth, and put on a clean pair of socks. Now drive me. The car moved forward, causing Roger to grab the steering wheel. The car immediately stopped.
Move your hands from the steering wheel. This is a self-drive vehicle.
Before Roger could worry about not being in control of the car, it moved away smoothly. At the end of the road, it turned to the right. Stop, said Roger. The car stopped immediately. Roger felt a bit of a fool talking to a car. He said. You're going the wrong way.
We are going the right way.
No, replied Roger. We're going in the wrong direction.
We are going in the right direction.
The car was being obstinate.
You are going to 420 Primrose Gardens, Edinburgh.
I don't want to go to Edinburgh. I want to go to 420 Primrose Gardens, Essex.
Redirect, redirect, redirect. 420 Primrose Gardens, Essex.
car, without warning, screeched into a U-turn. "Are you mad?" Roger grabbed the dashboard. There could have been something coming. Roger had shouted before he realized he was yelling at a mass of wires and metal.
Radar says no obstacles within 50 meters.
Well, that's good to know, thought Roger, but at least now I'm going in the right direction.
Outside air temperature 15 degrees.
What the hell? Roger ducked his head. The automatic hood had suddenly activated by itself without Roger touching anything. "What," he said out loud, "is going on?"
Auto hood activates at 15 degrees for the comfort of passengers.
Oh, does it? I'm beginning to get the feeling I'm not in control of this car, thought Roger. But the car was very quiet, very comfortable, and he breathed in. Ah! It smelt so lovely of newness.
Relative humidity adjustment. Relative humidity adjustment.
What the hell is relative humidity? Roger stared at the dashboard.
Relative humidity is the amount of water vapor in the atmosphere expressed as a percentage of what it could hold if wholly saturated at the same temperature.
The hissing was coming from beneath the dashboard, and the hiss was not only hissing, it was wet hissing. "Stop it!" Roger yelled. "I'm getting wet. And put down the hood. I'm too hot, and I want to drive the car."
Computer does not compute. Computer does not compute. Speak in English.
"I am speaking English, you bloody idiot."
Computer does not compute. Computer does not compute. Speak in French.
"I can't speak French."
Computer does not compute. Evasive action. Evasive action. Evasive action.
"No!" Roger was yelling again. The car was swerving out of control. Roger grabbed the steering wheel, but even with all his strength, he could not wrestle back control of the steering. "No, no, no!" Roger sat very still, frightened to move. The bonnet of the car that usually pointed down the road was pointing skywards. He could see that very clearly as the windscreen had disintegrated and something was rattling under his feet. "That," thought Roger, "is a death rattle. This car is a write-off." "Yes, a write-off. Unfortunately, a write-off," said the salesman. Roger, a week later, was sitting in the office of the car showroom. "Thank you for coming in, Mr. Morton," continued the salesman. "We have just to tidy up the results of your drama." "The car just swerved," said Roger, "straight into the tree. I could not do anything. It was a terrible accident." "Ah, an accident. Well, I'm afraid not." The salesman pulled a grimace across his face. "You see, Mr. Morton, you were not involved in an accident." "I was not involved in an accident?" Roger repeated disbelievingly. "No, Mr. Morton." The salesman's stare was stony. "You were involved in a suicide." A suicide? Roger had the feeling he was getting into something he really should not be getting into. "Yes, Mr. Morton," said the salesman. "Your car committed suicide." "What?" Roger almost bounced in his seat from astonishment. "A car committing suicide? That is ridiculous." "Mr. Morton," said the salesman, "you will recall I informed you the car possesses AI." Now the salesman was looking very grim. "And so?" Roger had a strange feeling again. He was already in a situation he had no intention of getting himself into. "And," continued the salesman, "using AI, The car recorded all of its controls and movements. The salesman's expression had changed from a grimace to grim, and now it was threatening. "And what has this got to do with me?" asked Roger. "Mr. Morton, before your car committed suicide using AI, it left a note." "Left a note? My car left a suicide note? I don't believe it," Roger snorted. "A note of which I have a copy." The salesman held up a small piece of paper. "The note is dated the day of the accident and reads, 'I cannot stand the wimp you have sold me to. He is an all-seeing, all-speaking dickhead with a brain smaller than a pea. I am going to commit suicide to get away from the stupid bastard.'" "And," said the salesman, "the note is signed XK 200. A note somewhat conclusive, would you not say, Mr. Morton?" Roger shook his head. He was lost for words, so he shook his head again. "Well," he said, "it's a good thing I'm insured." "Ah, now that is another small point, Mr. Morton. The law states a suicide within the first year of the insurance agreement nullifies any claim by the insured." "You mean I have no car and I'm not insured?" Roger stared disbelievingly. "You've got that in one, Mr. Morton. If we could just have a cheque for £180,000, please." "Oh dear, he's collapsed under my desk."